Hi again, guys. Tiffany here. Thank you for joining me. If you've been here before, welcome back. If not, welcome in general. Today I want to talk about the different types of witchcraft and what they represent. Now, these are just my understandings, with some research that I've done to try to get a better picture of these different kinds. There may be more out there than this. I'm certainly not saying that this is all there is, but these are the main ones that I'm aware of. I'm just going to give short little explanations of each. I'm not going to get super in depth with any of them because this video would be forever long if I did. Okay, and my laptop is down here, so if I look down, it's because I'm reading the notes that I wrote so that I can keep on track. Again, ADD, if I don't, I will go off on a whole other tangent. So, alright, the first one we're going to talk about is Wicca. Wicca is probably the most commonly known form of witchcraft. They tend to talk about it in movies and TV shows and things like that. It is typically a nature-based religion, meaning that they follow very specific guidelines and they have a lot of rules that they have to adhere to. You know, harm none and all of that. Even spiders in your bedroom, don't kill them. They also worship a male god and a female goddess, and sometimes multiples of those depending on the person. There are variances in every one of these. I want to state that right off the bat. I'm not saying that these are the set absolute rules. Everything is subject to variation. But that's a pretty basic, I would say, description of witchcraft. And there are two different kinds, Gardnerian maybe, and then Alexandrian, I believe, are the two kinds. Correct me if I'm getting that so wrong, but I believe those are the two types. And then there's ancestral witchcraft, which is what it sounds like. It's typically passed down through families. It's tribal magic, has a lot of different names. Brujeria, Santeria, voodoo, hoodoo, strega, all those are different kinds of ancestral magic. They're passed down through people's families through years and years and years. They have their own set customs, beliefs, traditions. It's a very deeply rooted form of magic. It's beautiful. If you read about those things, it is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay. Then there's what I am, which is an eclectic witch, which just means that I kind of pick and choose what I believe, what I don't, what I follow, and what I don't. I'm not a religious person because I don't like all the rules. It just doesn't, it feels like a cage to me, so I kind of prefer to just pick and choose what I practice and what I don't, and so an eclectic witch is the best fit for me. I'm a little bit of a kitchen witch, a little bit of a green witch, a little bit of this and a little bit of this, so yeah, eclectic, just kind of whatever you choose. Green witch. Now, I think green witchery is so beautiful. It is just having this amazing connection with the earth, with plants, and with the trees, believing that they can feel and sense, talking to them, communing with them, understanding them, which I think is amazing. They practice a lot of grounding rituals, which honestly, literally includes going outside in your bare feet and just walking through the grass, walking through the dirt, and just connecting with nature that way, which I love doing, honestly. That's one of the things that I do choose to practice, absolutely. They tend to be really good with herbalism and growing plants as a result of trying so hard to understand, or just naturally understanding plants and how they grow, what they need. It's really beautiful. And then there's one of my favorites, which is kitchen witchery. I mean, come on, food? Kitchen witchery is exactly what it sounds like. It is based in understanding the ingredients that you use to make a meal. What each ingredient has as far as properties, what it promotes, what it helps to ease. That's pretty much it. It's just understanding which ingredients will have the best effect while also being delicious and making people happy. You stir your intentions into your food and all that. It's a really, really warm, I think, form of witchcraft. I love it. I'm going to actually, I bought a cookbook, and it's a witch kitchen cookbook, and I'm going to be starting cooking recipes from it very, very soon. I think the first one might be something from Avon. I think it's going to be an apple fritter kind of thing, or an apple bread. Maybe some kind of stew. We'll have to see. Don't know yet. Anyway, onward. The next one I have written down is cottage witch, which is really popular right now, the whole cottage core trend, and it's beautiful. I love it. I so would love to live in a cottage in the woods, surrounded by wildflowers and animals and all of that. But cottage witchery, is basically just a combination of green witchery and kitchen witchery, but it tends to focus more on holistic ingredients, organic produce and things like that, locally sourced things to provide the most healthy outcome possible. And there's sea witch, which I think is so cool. It sounds so interesting. There are people who are very in tune with the lunar cycles, the tides and all of that, how it affects magic and rituals and the human mind, the human spirit, and the human body. It's just very, very interesting. And along with that, I think the next one might kind of tie in, which is an elemental witch. And there's someone who uses the four corners for power, you know, north, east, southwest, earth, air, fire, and water. They use the four corners, the four elements, for the rituals, and yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. And there's a hedge witch. Hedge witches, I think the term, if I remember correctly, comes from England and Ireland when witchcraft was extremely illegal, when witches were persecuted. You know, people would practice behind the hedgerow, so in private, and so a lot of people became solitary practitioners as opposed to having a coven or a group of people that they'd practice with. They tend to be very spiritually attuned from what I understand, and they also know a lot of medicinal magic, which is really cool. There are cosmic witches who, of course, know a lot about astrology as well as astronomy. Even they know a lot of the star patterns and alignments and things like that, and how, again, they affect us. And you know, you hear about the whole Mercury in retrograde thing, and they know all about it. I honestly don't know a lot about that kind of stuff. I think it's very interesting, but it's just not something that I am naturally drawn to. And then the last one I have written down for now is just a secular witch, and they're typically atheists. They don't believe in any kind of god, goddesses, or any of that, and their practice is very energy-based, it's will-based, it's all based within our capabilities as humans. I think I read that a lot of feminists tend to be secular witches, which I think is really cool. And like I said, all of these are much more broad than I've mentioned in this video. I just don't want it to be super long. And I know that, again, witchcraft is super, super personal. You can practice it however you want. I also know that for some people, practicing is extremely difficult because you live in a place where it's not accepted. Maybe even your parents don't understand your past. Maybe you live with your grandparents and they don't understand. Maybe you can't walk around and advertise that you're a witch. Any way you can practice is perfectly fine. Whatever suits your needs is 100% acceptable. And I think that's really important to impress, because there are a lot of gatekeepers in this community who try to tell you that you have to fit into one category or another, and that's just not true. It's absolutely not true. If you think you're a witch, you're a witch. That's it. There's no arguing. You either think you are or you think you aren't. If you think you are, guess what? You are. Congratulations. One other thing I do want to talk about is light magic versus dark magic. Now, any of those categories that I just mentioned has the capability of being dark or light. That is up to you. It is up to your intentions and what you wish to do. I personally try really hard to stay away from the darker side of things, just because life's hard already, and aside from, like, you know, hexing pedophiles and things like that, which I totally support, I tend to just avoid revenge magic, is what I call it, because I don't think revenge ever actually helps anyone feel better, so I just avoid it. I try to do things that make me feel better, that make me happy, that bring me some sort of peace, or bring peace to those around me. I love protection spells, and I'm thinking here pretty soon of perhaps recording myself doing a little protection spell for myself, my home, my animals. but I've done them for my other family members. I, of course, have done one for my car. I have like an amulet in my car. And there are a lot of little things you can do. So I prefer that type of magic. Light, which I guess would be called light magic. I don't really call it, I guess, light or dark is the thing. It's just what feels right to me is what I do. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I will gladly answer them. And if you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't, dink, thumbs down so I know not to bother making any more like this. If you have any video ideas, please leave those below as well. I would love to hear them. I'm really enjoying doing this, even if no one watches. I'm kind of just having a lot of fun. And hey, if I can educate even one person, then that's totally worth it. But anyway, I'm going to go. I will talk to you guys soon. Please be kind, compliment yourself, compliment somebody else, and just have a great day. Bye.